I'm Molly Kennedy. I work for DVU. I am the program fellow for self-determination. Judy would love to be here, and she will probably be here after 5 o'clock, but not we won't be able to see her. She was in Sacramento today at meetings, and around 5 she'll be at the airport, so she'll be able to hear us and speak to us, but probably won't be able to see her. So I am taking the lead today for Judy, and just before we get started, I want to remind everyone that if go ahead and under interpretation, select the language that you want to hear for this connect. So your language preference. You already saw that we are recording this session. So, and we are also streaming it live on Facebook. So if you want to go to your Facebook page real quick and share our link, so people on Facebook on your page can see the live feed going on. As always, we mute everyone on this session. When we get to a point when we're taking questions, there's two things you can do. You can raise your hand and we will unmute you and you can ask your question, or you can put it in chat. And our great monitors, Ed and I think Myra is helping you. Is that right, Ed?
Can you repeat that, please, Molly?
Never mind. So Ed will be monitoring chat questions, correct?
That's exactly right.
So now I want to so this is a special, well, not special, but a unique, I hate that word, special, when it comes to disability. This is a unique self connect today. It is a panel of all self advocates who are going to answer questions. I am going to moderate and ask the questions, but we as self-advocates, they're gonna share their stories of why they got into self-determination, why they wanted to transition from traditional to self-determination. What it was like doing that, what it's like being in self-determination now, what are the benefits, maybe some of the challenges. And so I think it's gonna be a really exciting panel. I just wanna say to all the families who are on here that we hope you have joined this connect to listen as these self-advocates present their story, and for you to understand the importance of you're a self-advocate, the person in your life, being able to lead their own self-determination through it. No matter how they communicate or how they let you know, everyone can tell you what they don't like and do like. And we're hoping that through this panel, we'll all benefit from making sure as individuals go into self-determination, it is driven by their voice, their goals, their hopes, and their dreams. So I would like to introduce the panelists. We have Howard McBroom, who will be one, Lisa Cooley, Fernando, do you have your camera available? And Kim Jin are the panelists. Have I left anyone out? So, Fernando, Howard, Lisa, and Tim. So, Howard, I'm going to start with you, and I want you to tell me why you decided to go into the self-determination program.
Am I on now?
Yes, you are.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Howard McBroom, and I am currently entering my third year in self-determination. And the reason why I decided to enter into self-determination is that I had a good relationship with my regional center, and if that were all that mattered, I wouldn't have gone into self-determination. But there were some things I wanted to do that no regional center could do. I wanted to, speak out in favor of advocacy, and I wanted to, speak out against violence and get my book published. And it's another thing too that would go beyond what the regional center would be able to do. So that's why I entered self-determination, and I was the first person in my regional center, Rantaman Regional Center, to be given to get into self-determination, to have my budget approved. So I guess that makes me sort of a trailblazer for Rantaman Regional Center. And as I said, I've now been in self-determination and beginning my third year. And it's a very good thing I did, because about a year or so after I entered into self-determination, I became stricken with an autoimmune disease, which paralyzed my legs. And I now need 24-hour round-the-clock care and a bunch of other stuff too. And without self-determination, I would not be able to pay for the things that I need now, like 24-hour care, a powered wheelchair, and my medical needs, and a bunch of other stuff. So it is extremely fortunate that I have gotten into self-determination, and I have been doing many things with it. I teach advocacy classes in Easter show and a poetry reading, and I now I'm in Power Hour and one of the people on the planning committee, and I'm an elder in Disability Justice Coordinating Council, plus a couple of Rantaman Regional Center Committee, the Client Advisory Committee, and the Program and Services Committee, and the Local Self-Advisory Committee would oversee self-determination. And I have a website now, which we're invited to do, howardmcbroom.com. And these are some of the things I have done with self-determination. And I truly owe my survival to it, because had I not gotten into self-determination, I would have ended up in a nursing home, likely. But that did not happen. Self-determination was my salvation. And so here I am doing my work in self-determination, and I hope to continue being a trailblazer and a pioneer and I'm working to make things better for people with self-determination.
Okay, great. That was wonderful, Howard. You should be our spokesperson throughout the state. Lisa, why did you decide to go into the self-determination program?
I decided to go into the self-determination program because I wanted to do sort of non get services in a non-traditional way, such as get employment services, get healthcare services for my disability that traditional services doesn't cover, and do things that traditional services don't cover, such as get a job and write a book and do more self-advocacy work in California.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. That's great that you can do all of that under self-determination. Fernando, what would you like to say about self-determination?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, I have something prepared. Can I say it?
sure.
All right. Hello, my name is Fernando Preciado, and I am 22 years old. I am a client of the Inland Regional Center. I am in my second year of self-determination. My mom is my independent facilitator, and she helps me find the services that I need. One of the self-determination program services that I am using is the individual training and education, and I am taking classes at Musicians Institute of Hollywood. At present, I am in the spring quarter, which is the sixth quarter. I started my first quarter in January 2021. In the beginning, I thought these classes would be hard because of all the music theory. Classes like harmony and theory, rhythm reading workout, ear training, sight singing, keyboard proficiency, a digital audio class, vocal technique, and private voice classes. I cannot believe I understood these classes and I am currently getting good grades. With my mom's encouragement, I went through the challenges of taking more advanced classes. At the end of 2022, I plan to get my associate's degree from the Musicians Institute and later do some voiceover, make my own music and or have my own music business. I think with the support of my family and self-determination, I will be able to do it. For me, music is essential because it makes me feel happy and inspired. When I sing, I feel like I take charge, like I am unique. I am so glad when others hear my music and hear me sing. I love singing. I have been singing since the age of 6 when my parents noticed I liked to memorize and sing songs, which started me into music. I recommend the clients of all regional centers transition to the self-determination program because of the differences between the traditional services and self-determination. With self-determination, you as a client have the freedom to choose the services that you need and choose the people you want around you in your life. The Lanterman Act says that you have a right to make choices about your life and make decisions about what services and supports you want and need. The Lanterman Act also says you have a right to services and support to help you live the most independent and productive life possible. I am satisfied with my services and I am still learning about self determination. Thank you for inviting me. For now, I have to say bye because I have to go to my class.
Well, thank you, Fernando. We'll know you are very busy, but we appreciate your input, and that was great. Tim, why did you enter the self-determination program?
Wow, Fernando, you are a natural leader. Thank you for speaking. Hi everyone, I will keep my answer simple and short because I want other panelists speak. I got into self-determination because I wanted 100% control over my staff, but not micromanaging them at all. I'm getting my gym membership paid for under my budget and so on. There is no need for an agency anymore.
Howard, now that you're in self-determination, do you feel like you're more integrated in your community and able to participate more in your community? And can you give us an example about that?
Well, I feel that self-determination has opened a lot of doors for me. That's what I feel. And yes, I do feel like I'm integrated into my community. I did a podcast yesterday after gym I now go to physical therapy. And that podcast should be on hopefully YouTube by the weekend, Friday or Saturday. And as I say, self-determination has opened many doors for me. For example, I would not be able to pay for my gym while I'm receiving physical therapy and while I did the podcast. If I did not have self-determination, I would not be able to pay for it. And I wouldn't be able to pay for my round-the-clock care, my electric power wheelchair, and a good many other things as well. So self-determination has opened a lot of doors for me. I've talked to a publicist, and I am moving forward in my endeavor to teach advocacy and advocate for people and fight against violence and make my life better. I mean, I am in a wheelchair now. I didn't used to be in a wheelchair, but I am now thanks to my autoimmune disease. But as long as I can continue working, I'm not going to let that stop me. But thank God I had self-determination, because without self-determination, it would have stopped my clock big time. So I'm glad I had that. It saved my bacon. It opened a lot of doors for me, and I intend to keep moving forward.
Before I move on to ask Lisa another question, if there's a self-advocate on right now who is self-determination, and they would like to just briefly say what good about self-determination, if you could raise your hand or put your name in the chat so we could hear from other people. So again, if there's a self-advocate on right now who is in self-determination and would like to give a short summary of what they enjoy about self-determination, raise your hand or put your name in the chat. Lisa, what is the one thing that has really improved in your life that has because of now you being in self-determination?
The thing that's improved now that I'm a part of my local self-determination committee is that I have a say in what goes on, and I can help other people understand what self-determination is and isn't.
Okay, anything else?
And as far as me, when I get less occupied with all of my advocacy activities, the best part of it will be having the flexibility to choose non-traditional services for myself.
Okay. Tim, do you want to say something else?
Molly, this is a great question. Yeah, I'm doing a lot more in the community. Such as prior to our meeting now, I just got back from the gym because now I have only 2 shifts per day, meaning I no longer have multiple staff coming and going throughout the day. Also, since I am in control, I can ask staff if they can stay longer because I manage their schedule and overtime.
That's great, Tim. I appreciate you adding that thought. We have Joey, who is on the connect. Joey, you're in self-determination. Would you like to share what it's like being in self-determination? Joey, are you unmuted?
Joey, I see that you're unmuted, but we're not hearing you speaking.
Okay, Joey, maybe you can work on getting your sound, and then you can let us know in the chat when you're ready to speak.
In addition, Joey, if your mic's not working, you can feel free to type up something in the chat and I'll voice it for you if you'd like.
So before we go to questions, and we'll get back to Joey or he'll put it in the chat. I want our panelists to say, just close out, say, I think what we would like to hear from you is, I think DVU in these self-determination chats connects is about encouraging people to look at going into self-determination. And so could each of you give like a 2 to 3 sentence spiel about why you should consider going into self-determination? Howard?
Yes, what was the question again?
Why would you encourage other people into going into self-determination?
What would I say to encourage other people to go into self-determination?
Yes.
Well, I would tell them that it gives you a lot more freedom. It gives you a lot more authority. It gives you a lot more ability to live your life independently and freely. You have a much greater control over your life, much greater control. And when you have some authority, people can control you readily as they may be used to. So all those things would be good reason for going into self-determination. If you want to live a more independent life, if you want to do more than what your regional center would be able to do for you, then I would strongly recommend going into self-determination. And I would also strongly recommend that you get an independent facilitator too. That's not essential. You don't have to have an independent facilitator to go into self-determination. The only thing that requires is a financial management service to pay the bill. But short of that, everything else is optional. But I would strongly urge you to get an independent facilitator. There is no substitute for this. And yes, I do encourage people to go into self-determination because you have a lot more control over your life. You will have much more freedom and you will be able to do many more things than you could do if you remain in the traditional system. And that is my argument for people going into self-determination.
Thank you, Howard. That's a wonderful ringing endorsement. Lisa, why would you encourage people to go into self-determination?
You have more choice, you have more access to services you didn't even think about. You can be more creative with the services that you get. And if you're young, say 18 or 20, you can try things you've never tried before.
Great. Another ringing endorsement of self-determination. And Tim, can you bring it home for us?
You are no longer in a portable nursing home outside of your door. This is how we all felt when we were in the traditional system with an agency. You heard many of the panelists sharing their stories and lives. It's not that difficult to start. Once you are in, it's easy.
Yep. Okay, Ed, we have the input from
Joey, we do.
yeah, could you read that, please?
Absolutely. It looks like he's exited. So Joey, I hope you're watching the recording. In terms of what self-determination is like for me, it enables me to live a meaningful life. I can engage in recreational activities and get services because I don't have to pay out of pocket.
Great. Well, Joey, if you're not on, but if you see this, thank you for your input. We really appreciate it. Now, I'd like to open it up to everyone who would like to ask a question of Howard, Lisa, or Tim. Is there any questions that people would like to ask?
I do a question.
Yes.
How can we help people that are sort of on the fence about self-determination feel more confident and secure about it?
Tim, do you wanna, or Howard, do you wanna answer that question?
How can we make people feel more comfortable about going into self-determination?
Confident and secure about going into self-determination.
Well, I would say have a support team. Get a support team to help you go into self-determination. Get an independent facilitator. Get a good service coordinator to help you. Have a lot of support around you, and get a financial management service that you can trust. All those things will make you feel more confident about going into self-determination when you know you have a lot of support and help by your side. And also know that, you know, when you go into self-determination, you're going to have a much better life, a much more freer life, and you will have many, many more options open to you. So those are the things I would say to help you feel more confident and comfortable. Just get a lot of help, especially a good independent facilitator. I cannot imagine doing self-determination without an independent facilitator. Well, people like Tareen and Shawnee and Tammy Bradley to help me. Without them, I could not even begin to do self-determination without the help of these outstanding independent facilitators like Shawnee and Corinne and Tammy Bradley. Get a good independent facilitator. That is a great help.
Okay, and Tim,
Molly, I have a question for you.
Of course.
If you are an independent facilitator, do you see changes in your clients for the better, exceeding your expectations as an independent facilitator?
yeah, as a IF, I see, it's really a lot of clients that I'm working with. They don't have a lot from regional centers before they go into self-determination. Basically, they are breastfed, but unless a lot of individuals that I work with, they didn't want to go into a day program or supportive employment. So they had little budgets, and we've been able to work with them to do a self-determination person-centered plan to get ideas. So they are able to access funding to do a lot of things, more tailored day stuff, but more when they're in self-determination, that's more flexible. And so it fits their needs a lot better than what is in the traditional services. I would like to open it up to the group just for about 5 minutes, and then we'll take any questions beyond what the panel had presented. But each of us is here because hopefully we believe in self-determination, and it's something that we believe is the way it should be, that people with intellectual and developmental disabilities should have ownership on their life to dream about the future and to create goals that reflect what they want to do and not anyone else in their life. So I just want to throw out a question, and people can either raise their hand or put it in the chat. But as a group, how can we work to help educate self-advocates? How could we encourage them? What could we do so that more people like Howard, Lisa, and Tim, and me, we don't want to be the only voices. We want a lot more voices out there. And it would be great to hear from you guys about what ideas we could share to get more people involved. So would anyone like to answer that question?
Well, Judy Mark would be a good person to ask that question to. But if you ask me, I think that, what we need to do to get more people into self-determination, we need to spread the word out more. We need to make more effort to get community like the Hispanic community involved. We need to do, I think, a better job of outlining what the advantages of self-determination will be. And we need fewer barriers in our path. Some consistency among the regional center would be a big help in getting more people into self-determination. And if you want more, I would advise you to ask Judy Marsh. I feel she could answer that question better than I could.
Well, I'm asking it that everyone on this connect right now. I mean, you're taking time out of your busy day. You have some reason why this is important to you. maybe you're a family member, maybe you're a provider, but what is it that you guys could do, to encourage, maybe at least to educate self-advocates more about this program? Tim?
Hi, Nina. Your son is starting to transition over. Can you explain his goals and dreams? And as Danny's mom, how do you feel about it, having your son be in control? As a parent, do you fear self-determination or are you excited?
That is such a great question. It's so far, and this is on me a little, just in our slow road, but I'm super excited about it, and I think Danny is too. He sometimes does fear change, but he loves people. He loves being in the community more than anything, and socializing, and I think that I am so, like, I can't tell you how thrilled I am for being able to support that way more. We kind of are in this situation now where we didn't fit in the traditional system for many reasons, and we kind of have a de facto, or kind of like our own improvised, like our own little SDP. So when SDP became a thing and available, we had been on the list, on the, in the lottery for years. And so when it went statewide, we were thrilled. We had a little, some COVID era problems, but, orientation done, and we're ready to go. But I think it's now a question more of the mechanics, but I think we're about to, in fact, I just talked to who I think is going to do, be our IF, because I think that personality wise with Danny will be just the most awesome fit. And so we are gearing up, but I cannot be more thrilled. And when I hear you guys talk today, every time, even though we're steeped in this, where we do SDP Connect, it's such a huge priority for us. When I hear you all with the lived experience talk about how it's changed your life, I become like, I'm ready to burst. My head, the exploding head emoji, that's how I'm feeling. So thank you for asking, Tim.
So, any other input? So now, thank you, panel. I appreciate your time. I think this was very rewarding. It was an honor to be the facilitator. I now want to open it to questions for anyone about anything about self-determination. Now remember, our guru, the guru, Judy, unless she had come on, no, not yet. But we do have people here. We have Rick Bird, we have Nina, we have a lot of good people here that can know a lot about the program. So we want to open it if people have questions, anything, like, as we do at all the self-determination Connect, once we get done with the main presentation, we open it to anyone and other questions in general.
Molly, we have actually several questions from people about the presentation that you guys gave, that the panel gave.
Okay.
And I would love to front load those. And then we also have a couple of general questions about this.
Okay.
Our first one is from Debbie and Jeff. Do any of the panelists use a combination of services that are vendorized in the traditional system and some that are not? Also, in terms of your support team or independent facilitator, how much do you rely on those types of people to help you on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis?
Does anyone use a vendor service? I do use a vendor service for my self-determination. Before I was in self-determination, I was getting independent living services from a local nonprofit called Community Interfaith. I loved them, they loved me, which was shocking. And when I went to self-determination, I said, they're like, we can negotiate. So they are not a vendor to me. There's a contractual obligation. And it didn't, so me paying them had nothing to do with them being a vendor. If they were able to provide services for me that I could on an agreed amount. I see Rick Horn. Wait. Tim, do you want to say something? Tim, can we take another Ed say another comment and we'll get back to you? Okay. Ed?
I don't use vendors, but my independent facilitators really helps me manage my budget, and she really advocates for me on everything that I need, like the position that I have for DVU.
Okay. Let me take a question. Rick Home, would you like? Rick?
Just a
do
heads
you
up,
want-
you'll have to unmute, Rick.
Sorry. Why don't we take a question and come back to it, okay?
Okay, I have a question from Tommy in the chat for you, Molly. Molly, can you share a little about how you negotiated with the agency you were talking about and how it changed your arrangement with them?
Yeah, so when I sat down to do my spending plan, I said, so what would the rate be, hourly rate? And they said, well, it would be $45 and we would do all paperwork, kind of what we do for the regional center. If you didn't want paperwork or anything documented, we would charge you $37 an hour. I said, I have enough paperwork in my life. I don't need to read about how well I did during the day or a session. And so I chose the $37 amount. And what else is good is then I don't have to do sole employer or co-employer. I'm just contracting for their services. So I don't have to worry about insurance or time off or anything like that. We just schedule what hours we need like we did under traditional services. So it probably is a fluke that it works so well with the vendor, but you never know till you talk to vendors that you might want to work with. Rick?
I heard about building websites. I have a website. Can my designer be across the country instead of being with me?
Yes. If that's under your spending plan to fund, it'd probably be under employment. It didn't matter where they're at to be funded under your spending plan.
I have another question whenever you're ready, Molly.
Okay, go ahead, Dad.
I apologize. I'm eating my dinner. 1 second. Okay, so another one from Tommy. So great to hear how you have more freedom and flexibility in the self-determination program. I'm wondering how you have handled the challenges of going from an agency, finding and hiring staff, for better or for worse, to having to manage all of the moving parts of finding, hiring, and coordinating your staff on your own. Is this something, is someone helping you to coordinate these supports? And this was addressed to our whole panel.
Howard, do you want to address that?
Yes, I have a lot of staff helping me. I have a great caregiving agency now, NDH. They are helping me. The Lanterman Regional Center helped me. Easter Show helped me tremendously. I am employed with Easter Show. I am an advocate for them, and I teach advocacy for Easter Show, and they help me tremendously. They do things for me. They give me my job. They help me to they give me the opportunity to teach my classes and to participate in committee like the local advisory committee at Lanterman Regional Center, which oversees self-determination. So yes, I have a great deal of help, and I couldn't possibly do it without them. The help from Easter Show, from Lanterman Regional Center, from NDH, my caregiving agency, and from UCP Momentum. They provide my housing for me, my Section 8 housing, which provide housing for people with limited income. So all of the help combined together helped me a great deal and enabled me to pursue my life the way I want to pursue it.
Tim, do you have something?
For me, it's a part-time job, which I don't get paid for. I hired a main staff to manage and schedule my other staff. Once a week, we have a meeting on what is going on in my week and who is available to help.
Great. Someone else? Okay, is there another question?
Sure. So our next question is from Jennifer. Sorry, that's Judy texting me. Our next question is from Jennifer. Have you? We're always you gotta make sure the mothership knows what you're doing.
She's like, what's going on?
I am just reporting that we are having a great SDP Connect, and she's very pleased to hear it. Have you had, Jennifer is asking, have you had success in finding long-term consistent staff? And how do you, Molly, Tim, Lisa, and Howard, how do you find and keep good staff? How much should I budget for quality staff?
Well, I can speak from my point. I have had excellent staff that have been so wonderful. But unfortunately, they are too wonderful. And they go on to get better jobs and higher paying jobs. And so that's hard, but that's reality. And I always say I'm sad for me, but I'm great. I'm so happy for you that you're moving on. I've had some staff that I've known within a week that they will not work for me. I'm very set in my ways. I also have a standard of how I want to be treated and respected. And a lot of times people come in thinking they have to talk like this, and it's like, no, that's not what I need. I need a partner here. So staff is always a gamut, but when you have good staff, enjoy them, and when you don't, don't keep them on if it's gonna be more of a frustration for you.
Add to the question of how much you should pay for quality staff, I would say pay as much as you possibly can, as much as you need to, because there is no substitute for high quality staff. A poor quality staff can hurt you in many ways. I have a high quality staff now, and I could not possibly live the life I live today without them. They allow me to be my own person. They do not control me. They help me in every way possible. So a high quality staff is truly a blessing. And I would pay, well, we had to switch from, in my example, we had to switch from one FMS to another because my previous FMS messed up on me. They didn't pay my prescription medication for 3 months. And I got disenrolled from Plan D at Medicare, and we had one heck of a struggle to get that back. So we had to switch from one FMS to another. And the FMS, which I'm working with now, is much better. I also had to switch from caregiving agency, from one caregiving agency to my current one, MDH, which is much, much better. They charge more, they pay more, I have to pay more, but it is worth it to have a better quality, caregiving agency. NDH, my new FMS, they're all much better. So I would say it's worth having quality staff, even if you have to pay more for it. Budget what you have to, but get good quality staff, please.
Kim?
Tell Judy we are doing fine without her and maybe even better.
I'm not gonna say that.
Since
No,
I
I'm not
started
gonna do that, Jim.
self-determination almost 6 months, my staff are the best, better than any agency. I've always been flexible than rigid with staff because I need their help. You have to be flexible with your employees because it's only fair.
Well, Judy sent my paycheck, so I'm gonna say it's been fine, but it's never as good as when Judy's here. So thank you. Rick, would you like to, you have your hand up, would you like to say something?
Judy says, I agree. In addition, I want to, while Rick is typing, I wanted to ask Lisa, it seemed like you might have had input on that last question, and I just wanted to make sure that we were also bringing you in if you had anything to say. We really value your contribution.
I don't have staff that help me because I live with my family. But if I did, I would make sure that they were thoroughly background checked. To protect my well-being.
So I had someone, I'll take this question in the chat that I saw, Ed. Johnny asked, how do participants measure success in SPD? Well, I think it's again goes back to SPD being about you and about what your needs and about how you want to live your life. And I think that we can measure a lot better and see a lot greater how much self-determination is able to give us flexibility. You know, I'm working on my starting a nonprofit. I'm working on a book. I have very, you know, transportation needs that cost a bit. You know, all these things are making my life happier and more involved and more, I have the right staff. So before I went into self-determination, I had independent living. But they got upset with me because they were like, well, we can't do your laundry. We'll teach you how to do your laundry. Well, I was like, I've been doing my laundry for a good 45 years. And it's not, I don't know how to do my laundry. It's now I'm in a scooter and I don't have the capacity to do laundry. Well, in tradition, we can't do it for you. In self-determination, they can do it for me. And they can do, you know, they're not just watching me do it, but struggling. That is a great quality of life measure for me. Rick, are you ready to talk?
Oops, I pushed the wrong button.
Okay. Melissa Jones, did you want to say something?
Yes. My daughter has been in self-determination for 3 years. And I think it really is just the flexibility of scheduling activities that she likes to do. You know, when she was in a day program, it's like Monday, we're going to do this, Tuesday, we're doing that. And there wasn't any flexibility. And now by having her staff, they sit down like at the end every Friday and they talk about what she's going to do the upcoming week and what activities they're going to participate in the community. Our church has something called the Anaheim Go Team, and you can sign up for volunteer activities. This isn't anything she could do by herself, but she can do it with her staff. And so they've already volunteered at a variety of different things in Orange County. And I think it just really allows her the flexibility to schedule the activities that she wants to do.
Yeah. You know, I hope that maybe regional centers and DDSs, the leadership at DDS will take an hour or, well, an hour if we go a bit longer, but I hope they really watch this video of what we've done today, because I really think it's clear what a value self-determination is for the people who live lives with disabilities. And so I'm really grateful that I got a chance to be part of it. And I hope this is something we do more of, that we empower the voices of self-advocates. And we really become the ones that say, this is what we want. And everyone, regional center, DDS, lawmakers, we need you to work with us to make this happen. Is there anyone, would anyone, Nina or Rick, would you like to say anything?
Molly, I agree. I was thinking the exact same thing. That wouldn't it be awesome for regional centers and DDS just to listen to today's session? Because like I said, there's nothing better than hearing you all. It is the most inspiring thing. And it really, your examples and it just really helps, because I think it's so easy to build up this fear, just the fear of change, of, oh, this detail or that detail.
And the unknown.
The unknown, exactly, the unknown. And you are making the unknown so it just makes it like, okay, this is doable. It's really, really doable. And thank you all so much.
Molly, I have a comment. This is Rick Wood.
Yeah.
I've got to echo what Nina just stated. This is really authentic stuff, very well presented. And, the question that I thought was really most telling was, how do you feel about it? How is it better? And what the panel has done today is provided very specific personal examples of how it's better. And we can tell you how it's better. And we can advocate to others as to why it's better. But I really appreciate the comments. I have a meeting scheduled with Nancy Bargeman, who is the director of DDS, on Thursday. Molly, I'm going to take you up on your suggestion that this video be viewed by people who can make a difference. And I'll look forward to seeing it again. Actually, I've been just at rapt attention for the last hour listening to these stories, because they're real and they mirror the stories that are told by parents on behalf of children, but they are told in a way that I hope will resonate with this audience and have people feel comfortable that this is something that is not going to be too hard to do. And the rewards are certainly going to outweigh the difficulty that some people are having in getting in, and the uncertainty that people have in deciding whether or not to get in. So I will ask Nancy to spend an hour. It'll be well spent, and I appreciate the opportunity to make that comment. Thank you, Molly.
Thank you.
Please do share that video, and if you think it would do any good, I would be willing to, go with you to Sacramento to talk to some of the people there and tell them how much better self-determination makes our lives.
Yeah. Tim.
Everything has a solution. Nothing is impossible. It might take longer to get there, but for those of us who are in self-determination, we always find a solution and get what we need and want.
So, yeah. Ed, are there more questions?
Yes, let me jump back into my document. Some of these are more general. Johnny is asking, how do educational services work in the self-determination program?
So in your spending plan, if you want to take a course or have supports for your education beyond the high school, because high school is paid under education. There are ways to pay for education in your self-determination plan.
Awesome. I have another question from Elena. How many personal assistance hours may a bedbound adult client have? Is there any limit?
I do not know that question, but we can get an answer to you next time, or you could email me and I will find an answer to that.
I know that if you use IHSS, the maximum amount of hours you can get is 283. I don't know what it is in self-determination.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would just say that's absolutely right, Lisa, for IHSS for sure. But in terms of, if you're looking at how many personal assistance hours are available in the traditional system so that you can build your budget, it's a neat, we can find out if there's some kind of limitation on the total number of hours available.
Judy,
I may cut in. Judy is saying there is no maximum in the chat.
there is no maximum.
That's right. And because what I was going to say was certainly in self-determination, it's based on your need and what you need, and your choice in the budget. But that's so good that there's no max.
Is there someone has their hand up, Ed?
Sure, Brittany, I've asked you to unmute.
Maybe he's not there now. Okay. Back to the chat questions, Ed.
Certainly. How do you know how much is going to be in the next budget after the certificate budget? I'm not sure what that refers to, but I hope you know, Molly.
Do you mean your first year budget? Will it change in your second year of self-determination? Or are you asking about a certain program that I will need Judy or someone said yes the following year. Okay. So did I answer that question? Is there another question?
Yes. Johnny is asking, how do participants measure success in the self-determination program?
I think I talked about that.
Yeah, you did.
Is there anyone else that wants to add in on that? Lisa?
What was the question?
How do
How do you measure success when you're in the self-determination program?
I would think that you look at what you did in your life before self-determination and think about what you are doing in your life with self-determination and compare the two.
Okay.
it isn't something that you can measure with numbers.
Well, I think that success differs from individual to individual. Each individual has their own idea of success. But I think the general criterion would be how much better does it improve your life and how much more can you accomplish in self-determination. Those, I think, are the general guideposts that matter for success, but for each individual, it will be different. And you can't compare any two individuals. For me, success is being able to do my advocacy work and to do my fight against violence as well. That, for me, is success.
And do you want me to take a hand or do you want to read a question?
I think Tim, did you want to say something? Yeah.
Sorry, I'll keep track here.
There is no measurement. There is no scale from 1 to 10. Your success is up to you.
Okay, Melissa, you had your hand up.
Oh,
Did you
okay.
want?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to get back to the previous question about the budget. So if your needs are the same from year to year, then your budget should stay the same. But one thing you have to remember is if you purchase something, so let's say you use some of your budget to buy a laptop. Well, you're not going to need a laptop in year 2 because you already have a laptop unless it broke or something. So, you know, parents have put a security system into their home with their self-determination budget. They're not going to need that money for that the second year because they already have it. So
But-
those are some things to think about on year 1 versus year 2.
But that doesn't mean you won't get. So if you spend all the funding in your spending plan year 1, you will get that same amount. Unless, like, maybe the home security, was that a one-time only thing they put into your spending plan, or was it just you used the money to buy that?
What I'm saying is the budget should be the same.
It is the same, and
Yes.
you can spend it on other things that you don't
Correct.
need. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
And if you have a change of circumstances in your life, you can say, due to whatever situation, I need more money in my budget or less money in my budget, and I can move certain things around to accommodate other needs for myself.
Right. Ed, is there a question in Spanish that we need to have answered?
There are 1 or 2. I'm trying to make sure. Okay. Thank you, Lorna.
So I think I've been keeping this all positive. Maybe that's a question we could bring back when Judith's here that she could address. But I agree. I think regional centers, and I deal with this as I asked, there's a lot of hesitation from regional centers about people going into self-determination. And I think that's really a sad thing that regional centers are not seeing this as a good thing for the people they serve. As Judy would say, the money regional center has are our dollars, our taxpayer dollars. We as the self-advocates, it's our lives, and we should live them as the way we want to. So I agree that regional centers still need some work. That's why we have each regional center has a local advisory committee for self-determination to help bring regional centers into accepting this and promoting self-determination. And you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, so we all have to work at it as a team.
Thank you, Mom.
Brit-
Oh, go ahead.
Brittany Lloyd, do you have a question?
Yes.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Your name is
My name is Adam.
Adam. And what would you like to say about self-determination?
Sports, track,
Horseback riding.
horseback riding, and golf.
They give you
What?
to participate.
Give me ability to participate.
Well, we're really glad, Adam, that you were able to tell us that. And that seems like you're really enjoying self-determination and doing the things that you love. And that's
Yes.
really great.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Tim,
The end goal is not to drain down your budget to $0. Your budget should be what you need, and maybe your second year budget will be smaller or more. The goal is not to drain down your budget. This goes back to measurement. If you are happy with your life after your first year of being in the program and your budget is smaller for the second year, that should be your measurement on how successful you are in your first year.
Ed, any questions in the chat?
Yes, we have another question in Spanish.
Okay. Do we know what regional center? If that person could put that in the chat. Just to clarify once more, on July 1st, 2021, self-determination was open to all regional center clients. There is no reason that they should be denied the opportunity to transition into self-determination. So unfortunately, we hear these stories, but I recommend you could do a few things. You could go back to the regional center and ask why, and tell them that the DDS it's state law. This is open to everyone. You can also contact the ombudsman at DDS and talk to them about it. You can also go to your local self-determination regional advisory committee too. So, but that's unfortunate that you have heard that.
And they are responding that it is from South Central. That's the region.
Yeah. Okay. We agree. We agree. And that's why Rick and Judy work very closely, spend many hours working with DDF to help make sure regional centers are living up to the law. And so we are very lucky to have Judy and Rick in our corners. So, okay, we have about 7 minutes left. Are there any other questions?
There sure are. Let me tab back to my page.
Okay.
Joyce is asking, if an ABA company doesn't take Medi-Cal yet, can the self-determination program cover it for an adult?
You can use your spending plan to pay for ABA services. You will not receive funding under the traditional program for ABA services. But if it's something you want to use with your funding plan, you can do that.
So let me try to talk while I'm on the plane. Hi, everybody. We're not in the air yet. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So let me question. So just because the ABA agency doesn't take Medi-Cal, it doesn't mean that you can get the regional center in your self-determination budget. You have to find a different ABA company that does take Medi-Cal. So it's not about the specific company. It's about the fact that Medi-Cal does pay for ABA, and therefore you have to find a company that the Medi-Cal pays for. So you would probably not be able to do that. It really depends on what you want the behaviors to do. You could also ask the ABA company to do things that are not behavioral therapy. So let's say you want a behavioral agency to help teach you to cook or do gymnastics with you. If they're doing something that's outside of ABA therapy, you can bring them in. You can bring them in to do other things. But if it's specifically ABA, then you have insurance, you have to get the insurance to pay for it. I think somebody just put something in the chat about it too. It says, my son's primary insurance plan doesn't fall under the ACA. Okay, this company covers ABA and mental. Okay, so if you have a primary insurance that doesn't cover ABA because it's military, then you are eligible. Yes, I heard of this. You are absolutely eligible for using ABA in your budget, using your budget from the self-determination program. Now, the key thing though, is that you have to get your budget to increase so that it becomes available. ABA therapy is incredibly expensive. So you want to make sure that during your budget is an unmet need. We should be able to have ABA hours, and that funding needs to be added to my budget. So you don't want to have a small budget and start spending it on ABA because it'll be gone in like weeks.
This is why we pay Judy the big bucks.
Judy, great to see you. Good luck in Sacramento. We had a great time here today.
All right, I think we're getting to the time that there's one more quick question we can answer.
Yes, there is. I apologize. I didn't realize I was muted. Okay. Debbie and Jeff ask, are there challenges in trying to hire or pay staff when you have to use IHSS hours and self-determination money for basically the thing you need?
So I don't have IHS, so I don't think I'm the expert to answer that question.
I think Tim has direct experience with using IHS, a combination IHSS hours and and self-determination. Because I'm going to have to face this one myself. So I'm definitely going to need to think that one through. But I don't know if Tim, you want to add anything?
Let me start by saying that you have to exhaust generic resources first, and IHSS is probably the biggest of all the generic resources besides schools. And so what it means is if you get the maximum number of hours of IHSS, which is 283 hours, you have to account for that. You cannot double dip. You cannot instead get your self-determination program to pay those hours. So as you're going through a 24-hour day, obviously 283 hours is, I believe, 9 hours. Sorry, I'm trying to put my bag underneath the seat. When you are, it's about 9 hours a day. So that's, a whole lot of other hours if you require 24/7 supports that you need to get paid for through the self-determination program. So just remember to calculate it out that way.
And Tim?
I use my in-home support services just for overnights.
Okay. All right, everyone. Well, we appreciate your time. We thank you. And I will have another connect in 2 weeks. So thank you all.